Hey everybody, this is Danya Goodman here. I wanted to take a minute and give you a brief overview of the new drum library that we came out with. It's called Pure Drums, whether it's Pure Drums Premium, Pure Drums Signature. I wanted to give you an overview of the library and give you some basic installation instructions and how to manipulate the plugin to separate the outputs on the drums. Okay, so real quick, we're going to go into it. It is a contact library. You do have to either have the full working version of Contact 5.7 or higher, or you can use the free Contact player, but it will be in demo mode for right now. As we build, we are currently working on getting some licensing so that you can the use the library in the Contact player by itself. We're also working on our own standalone version of the drum library as far as the kits are concerned, so that there will be a standalone version of each kit that you purchase. When you purchase the library, you're going to get a download, and the download is you're going to download it to wherever your downloads folder. In this case, I've downloaded everything to my I've downloaded a kit to my desktop, and it's this Chris Bailey kit here, and you're going to it's a raw file. All you're going to do is unzip it, extract it. I'm going to extract everything right to the desktop here, and it's going to do that. Okay, so I've extracted it. I actually made a folder on my desktop called Chris Bailey Studio Kit and extracted it to that folder. You double click the folder, you'll see all the necessary files that you need to get this library working. So what you're going to do, go to your DAW, open up an instance of Contact. In this case, I'm using my DAW, which is Studio One, and open the instrument. You can either drag the instrument file, which is this NKI file here, or the NKM. You can drag the instrument over to this blank area and it'll open up, or you can go to your desktop in your files tab, go to the desktop, Chris Bailey Studio Kit, and drag this right on over. And as you can see, it's loading up now. Now let me take you for a spin around this little thing. I don't have a lot of bells and whistles on here, and that is for a reason. I didn't want a drum library full of bells and whistles, full of extra options that you don't need. The whole idea is to give you pure, solid, organic, great sounding drums and put the processing power back into the hands of the producer, the composer, the engineer. You can import MIDI loops from anywhere and assign them to these drums. Okay, so this page is the GUI, and there's nothing to see here except for a nice looking drum set, and these are your snare choices right here. Each kit comes with, you know, 3 snares, 4 snares. Some kits will come with one, depending on who produced the kit, who designed the kit. But for the most part, I try to make sure you get multiple snares with each kit. There's no 2 kits that sound alike. This kit here is the Chris Bailey Studio Kit from the Signature Series. There are 2 Signature Series kits and 1 Premium Series kit, and they all sound gorgeous. Okay, let's go to this next page here. This is the mixer page, and again, no bells and whistles here, straight ahead mixer, but you have the kick, the snare top, the snare bottom. You have 4 toms. The Calvin Rogers kit from the Signature Series has 5 toms. The hat mic, the overhead mic, and the room mic, and the master fader. You know, you got pan, mute, solo, straight ahead, okay, because it's designed to put the processing in your hand. So there's not a bunch of knobs and EQ knobs and compression and all of that, because I wanted that power to go back into your DAW. All right, let's go to the change keys button. This is your customizable MIDI mapping. Okay, so if there's if the hi-hat key is one key and you want to change it to another, you would go here, select the key that you want to change, and select the key that you want to change it to. Just that easy. All right. And so let's get to the main meat of the matter. I know you guys want to hear these sounds, so I'll go through these sounds and you guys can kind of hear what we're working with here. Okay. My cymbal here, my tom, and let's as you can hear, there's a lot of detail given to these dynamics. Okay, we got two. What you see is what you get. Whatever you see on that GUI is what you're getting. You know, you get two splashes, three crashes. Okay, you get a stack cymbal. You get a China cymbal. All right, and you get the ride, of course. This is the bow. This is the bell, and the edge is on the B up top. Okay. Now, I also included something that's pretty unique, especially for those of us who are into the gospel and the big ballads and the funk and whatever else. I included simple swells and washes. Okay. So for each cymbal, each crash cymbal, there's a swell and a wash for it. All right. And I feel like that's a great feature to add. That's snare one. Let's go to snare two. All right. Let's go to snare three. And let's go to snare four. These drums were recorded by Chris Bailey himself, and I appreciate him for it. His drums are super, super amazing. The Calvin Rogers drums are absolutely to die for, and even my drums in the premium section are just gorgeous. This project came out very gorgeous. It's a labor of love. I want to thank my team and everybody involved. Let's go into this mixer. This mixer is straight ahead. You know, you get your kick drum, mic. All right, and you still keep the bleed. I didn't keep a lot of the bleed on the tom mics and the kick drum mic. The bleed is mainly in the snare bottom, the overhead, and the room, because I wanted to keep a lot of realism, but I didn't want to overcrowd the tom mics and all that, because when you're mixing, you're going to take that stuff. You're going to want to take as much bleed out of those toms and kick mics as possible, because you want the cleanliness of it, but you still want the organic sound and tone. And so if I solo this bottom snare mic, you will still hear the other snares and toms, the other kick and tom mics. All right. And then if I solo the overheads, you'll hear the whole kit in the overhead. It's actually an amazing, amazing, amazing kit. Now, let us really quick go through how to route this out. You want, let's say I want all of this out into separate outs in my DAW. Let's do that really quick. Okay, so what I did for you is I created a preset in these libraries so that it is already routed to the contact outputs, and then you route the contact outputs to separate outs in your DAW. And I'll explain the contact outputs so that you understand it. Okay, this is the Chris Bailey Studio multi-out preset. And once I pull that in, it's going to bring up the Chris Bailey kit, but it's also going to bring up separate outs. If I open and show the outputs, I have all of these mapped out. Okay, kick, snare top, snare bottom, 4 toms. This 5th tom is inactive. Don't worry about that. I just kept that output in there because on some drum sets there will be 5 toms. For instance, in the Signature series, the Calvin Rogers drum set has 5 toms. Okay, so now as you can see, all of these are routed out to channel 1 and 2. What if I wanted to bring them into Studio One in my mixer? This is really easy. But the trick is with Contact, you click this bottom tab here and the window comes up, the channel window comes up, and you want to click the channel 1 output. And I want to show you guys how this works, okay, so that you guys can get this. Okay, so the first 10 channels of Contact are stereo channels, and then they go to mono after that. Okay, you got to keep that in mind, that they go to mono after that, so that you understand exactly how to route these out. Okay, so you have stereo track 1, stereo track 2, channel 2. Those are a stereo pair out. Okay, and so what we'll do is we'll leave our overhead in stereo channel 1 and 2, and we will put our room in stereo channel 3 and 4. Okay, so for my kick and all my toms, I want to route those to mono. All right, so let's start with kick. Now the first 10 channels, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 are stereo. So we come down here to the unassigned 1, and we'll change this channel to 1 because we just want a mono channel. All right, you hit OK. Okay, so I have everything routed out. All right, all the mono channels and the 2 stereo channels. So as it stands now, we're done. We're totally done with this. All right, we can come out and do something else. So now we gotta bring in the mixer for the other channels. And in Studio One, you go to the instruments area, you click Contact, you hit expand. All right, now if I hit this here, boom, you should hear the room mics now. This is your Contact unassigned, so this should be kick, snare top, snare bottom, tom 1, 2, 3, 4, tom 5, which is actually inactive, and then your hat mic. And that should be everything. All right, now let's test it out. Right? Let's mute the room mic and the overheads because we know those are in. Kick drum and top snare, bottom snare, tom 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, of course, we know the next one is tom 5, but it's inactive. We can actually take that out of there. And then the hat mic. And that's it. And then you just name your channels. And now we can come here and we can mix. We can bring in EQ and compression for each of these. And now you have your separate drum channels, you know. And that's how you do it.